Residents are calling for more funding to maintain these flood control channels. This after the worst storm in decades overwhelmed neighborhoods 2 weeks ago. CBS 8's David Gottfredson spoke with a former city council member who says these funding shortfalls are nothing new.
I'm a resident of 4150 National Avenue.
This is what's left of the apartment complex Rachel Clark called home before floodwaters came pouring in.
We had people that worked night shifts that were sleeping at the time, that woke up to water literally touching the top of their queen beds. That's what woke them up. Women sleeping with their babies that were trapped inside their apartments that couldn't get out, and that had to have people break down the doors to get them out.
The apartment complex sits along South Choice Creek in Mountain View. These are photos from September 2022 showing before and after the city of San Diego cleaned out the channel on the north side of National Avenue Bridge. But take a look at the south side of the same bridge, as seen in this Google Earth animation taken before last month's devastating floods.
We are talking about trees growing in these channels, palm trees, shrubbery. And we're not talking about little weeds growing in the concrete.
State Assemblyman David Alvarez sat on the city council from 2010 to 2018. He said everyone knew the flood channels needed to be maintained, but funding was never enough. And he says the city council even did a study that concluded maintenance would make a difference.
Even if you say, okay, it was a rain event like we've never seen before, the work should have still been done to prevent the level of damage.
A couple weeks following the floods, this is what the same channel now looks like south of the bridge. The city says an emergency declaration allowed crews to move in fast and clear out the debris, something that Alvarez says could and should have been done years ago.
We're talking about complete devastation and loss of hundreds of homes, vehicles, and all the property inside the homes. And so to the extent we could have prevented that even a little bit to help a few folks, I think we owe it to the public to do that.
Now the city council is trying to come up with a plan to take to the ballot that would impose a new tax to fund repair and maintenance of these flood channels. But if you don't live in a flood zone, you might be hard-pressed to vote for that measure. Along Choice Creek, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.